Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge match with Potsy and Tino on the big podcast show. Holla at a player.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, can you believe it? We are back in sync. Are we in sync tonight?
Backstreet Boys are in sync.
I wasn't where I was going with it, but all
Backstreet
right.
Boys are in sync because we're the new kids on the block, and with the new edition.
New edition. Oh man.
Candy girl,
Rock my world.
you look so sweet.
Anyways, our theme song, as always, is.
This is why I don't come over here.
Are you kidding? If we would have, if we would
have
have ever tried to set something like that up, we would never would have been able to do it. But the theme song is always brought to you by Adam's House Cast. It's called a wrestling song. It's called it's
called the wrestling song.
It's called the wrestling song, and then it's called it's still called the wrestling song. It's available on iTunes for 99 cents.
Still 99. Mr. Telephone Man, something wrong with my line.
Oh shit!
I got my baby's number.
Anywho, he knows way too many of those songs. I only know the one.
I know New Edition. I love New Edition.
Yep.
New Edition. Because I'm big.
We do want to thank Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song.
You said that already.
I'm saying I want to thank them for it.
Thank you.
Exactly.
So you can understand this. Meow.
Meow.
Not so funny. Meow, is it?
This week in pro wrestling has been fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. And we may have some people that want to join in later on. But before we get to that, Tino, you and I we always start with what's up with you.
Well, you know something because I've been talking to you pretty much all weekend, but
go ahead. Explain why you never came over.
Okay, so when you knew I wasn't coming over Saturday because it was Nicole's birthday. So it was her birthday, my mother-in-law came. We went out to dinner, we did the
Candy
whole
girl.
Candy girl. All I want. You look so sweet. Special treat. You started it.
I know, I can't help it. But when we're talking about Nicole, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
So we went out to eat. And so I got home, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to watch the damn pay-per-view, right? So we got home to eat from dinner. Our reservations were at 6.
You're talking about Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
I mean, we're talking all week. Like this is
just Saturday.
Okay.
All week. Last week was cool too. I had a good week. Just work. Yeah, and I worked all week trying to get ready for, like I said, this weekend because I knew it was going to be long. So we did the reservation thing at 6. I got home about 8:30. My mother-in-law was there, so they were talking about, hey, I'm trying to watch wrestling. But then I had to go pick up my father-in-law from the airport. So I got home. I'm like, you know what? I tried to watch wrestling and I fell asleep. So I had to watch it. I was able to watch bits and pieces. So I finished watching it Sunday morning before we went to the brunch thing with our friends. Then we got home. I'm like, all right, cool. I told Nicole, yeah, I'm gonna go on Rob's and watch night 2 WrestleMania. She was like, okay. She goes, you are? I told you that last week. Don't mess with me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
She said, okay. So my father-in-law gets back because he's a nurse anesthetist and travel nurse. So he was in Buffalo. So he flew back. He had ordered Nicole a drum set.
Why the hell did he order her a drum set?
She's taking drum lessons.
Is she?
Yes.
Like a full
yes. That's what she wanted, and she's been practicing on the coffee table with her drumsticks. And so he said, all right, we get so you got to do.
Does she want to be part of the band?
She can't because I told her she can't stay up. She falls asleep like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm like, we got to play old folks home. The show have to be over at 8. She knows this. I told her. So, she said, what we call it? So we tour old folks home. That's what we do. So
She probably be down.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right. So he bought these drums, and I'm like, we knew she was getting the drums. Like, we need to clear out because they're in the garage. We need to clear out the garage and make room before we set them up. Well, she saw those drums. It's like, I'm like, we need to clear. No, there's plenty of space. No, there's not. So we get them. I get all these. We get them together. Guess. And she sets them in there. Guess what? Guess what? We don't have
space.
And I'm looking at her, but I knew she was excited. She wanted to get those drums up. I'm like, I understand you're excited, but there's no space. She knew I was livid because here we go now. Now we're pulling shit, and he's got it.
By the way, folks, this is still WrestleMania weekend.
Yes, this is Sunday. I was supposed to be here, and this is at. So I was like, what time? I thought it started at 8. No, it starts at 7. Yeah, this is at 5.
5.
Putting these bitches together, and now we got to move all this stuff out the garage and move stuff around and clean out this garage. We finally get the drums set up. I was so pissed. We finally get these drums set up like at 9 o'clock. Should I text you from that?
Well, I got that picture. Like, I sent a message saying at like 8:30. Well, I guess you ain't coming. And you sent a picture back, and it was like, shit still ain't together. And it was a picture
of the drums.
They're all over the place. I'm like, Tino ain't coming.
Nope.
He probably wants to. He probably wants to get the hell out of there.
But then she kept, well, you can go. Me and my dad are finished. I'm not falling for that trick.
Nope, you won't. The locks will be changed by the time you get home.
Nope. So we get them put together, and they're set up. So I finally, it's about 9 o'clock. I'm like, I'm watching now because Robert was already, because he said something like, oh, the main event started at 10. I'm like, well, I'm still on the first match. He goes,
well, I said something that scared you because you were like, you better not.
Oh, yeah.
Me up.
Yeah, a spoiler.
So folks, just so everybody knows, yesterday was the 1,316 day.
Yeah.
Right? So Tino goes, and the way that I said it to him, it was 1.316 day of Roman Reigns' reign. And he goes, bitch, that better not have been a spoiler. Now, it was not. And it was not.
He said Roman is at 1.316 days as champ. I said, I knew you, but not just in a spoiler.
Exactly. And hold on. After the last time there was a spoiler that I gave you, and you said, we're about to not be friends anymore. Yeah. I have not spoiled anything for you since, right?
Yeah, because at that point you said you should be watching Mania because I sent you something. I said, I am. I'm in the U.S. title match starting. So he's like, how are you watching it? So
well, hold on. And the reason why is because anybody that actually like tries to watch it cannot start at the beginning if they start late. And I knew he wasn't watching at 9 o'clock, right?
Right.
So he goes, ha ha!
I figured him out. I tricked him. I started the program at 7
and paused it.
No, I let it play.
Oh,
and so while I was still doing my
so you could back up.
Yep, I went back on the because if I tried that Saturday, tried to pause it, and when I tried to rewind and fast forward, it skipped the live, and I would lose my space. So I figured out. So I figured out if I let it play, and then just go back and rewind it, it let me do it. So,
now keep this in mind, folks, because
when it was on the Netflix. Not Netflix. When it was on the network, you could start it at any time.
Yeah, and it would say start from the beginning, from like
but
live.
But Peacock, they don't play that bullshit.
and Blitzball, we see you in the background. We'll get to you. Yeah. We'll get to you because we know that you and your Joshi champions. You got plenty to talk about from this weekend.
Yep.
But I haven't seen Tino in forever,
right?
So
today, we did the
Continue. Sorry.
No. We did the drum set. So today, I told my wife because she had to go get her hair done and she went to do her drum lesson. I'm like, if my class ends, early enough, I said, I'm going to Rob's, and she's like, okay, okay. I'm going to do the show, Robs. And it probably won't be a break. Don't get used to it. Probably won't be a week, but I got finished early. And I didn't get to come over here WrestleMania weekend, so I said I'm going to Rob to do the show.
What makes it even funnier though is that Tino did not mention at all to me that he was coming over here. So like I was sitting there going, "Hey, I'm ready to start when you are." Hey,
no, I sent you the thumbs up. I was driving.
he sent the little guy like, and I'm like, all right, well,
because at that point I was like 8 minutes out, so I knew I was going to be here.
Well, I sent messages to like 4 or 5 people because I sent one to my buddy Billy Nichols. I sent one to Shavar. I sent one to Jason. Jason will be joining us shortly. Who spent all weekend in Philadelphia, and he went to like 7 different events in Philadelphia. By the way, we're not going to talk about most of them because Tino and I just don't know about them, right? But
so he was sitting here. Surprise! That's right. I have a key to the house.
Oh, I got a message. I don't know who it's from. Shavar. Shavar started the nah hey goodbye chant tonight, and we're not even watching.
Cool.
So
we'll
but our boy Shavar actually is the one that started the chant.
So you're sitting here.
So I was sitting here.
I have a key.
Yeah. I have a digital lock.
I didn't know if you heard it because at first I tried the doorknob real slow.
I
didn't want you to know I was here.
Did you actually try the lock?
No, I tried. I turned the doorknob and I kind of pushed on it because I knew.
I didn't. No, I was so. Just so everybody knows, I was watching Eric Bischoff's statement about what was going on with the we're going to talk about it because obviously it's going to be a big part of Dynamite this week. Him and Conrad's discussion.
He had no clue,
and I had no idea, and all of a sudden I just hear, and I look over and I'm like, and then I see the doorknob go like this, and I'm like, oh, Tino's here. And I was like, well, no wonder he's not online already because he would have been on by like 8:15.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's we might actually have some new viewers actually based on a couple of based on a couple of things. But this week is so jam packed. There's so much going on, and Tony Khan decided he wanted to sit there and go, "Fuck all y'all! I got something!
That's what that happened.
I loved what Eric Bischoff said, and here's what made it so. We'll get to it. I do want to say Tino's here, so Tino's gonna get a copy.
I get to see it.
Of Zor #2 with Tino as one of the main characters of the book. He's actually on the cover. Tino's going to get a copy of that before he leaves tonight. He's going to get a copy of #1 because you don't have a copy of #1 yet, right?
No, I don't.
This week is for me.
I went to Ultimate. They didn't have them.
But they were sold out.
I went to Ultimate in the mall because I happened to go by the mall. I had to pay.
The mall. The mall.
I went to Macy's building.
The mall probably didn't get it at all.
Yeah. So I went and asked them because I was going to buy one, but they didn't have it.
You should have been like, "Hey, you got Zor by Potsy," and they'd be like, "What?
I did. I said Zor. I said, Potsy. I said that's my best friend. And I came in. I'm just going to surprise them with it. Like, oh no, we don't have it. Thanks for that. So
hate when they say that, because at least 3 of the 5 stores actually did have it. So
I happen to be at that one.
Sure. Real quick, just want to let everybody know, I been working on trying to get at least a new copy, a new comic actually like picked up by Keen Spot this week. Been really in the negotiations on that.
I want to hear about that.
And I've been working a lot, like I've been talking about the book called Are You Sure You Want to Get into Comics? And I've got 2 chapters left to write on it. So I've been working on that. And then today I was finishing up a cover for a new book in the Trump's Titans and Biden's Titans series kind of has to do a cover, and my whole point to it was I don't want to be looked at as a left side, right side. So if it's involving both sides, let me know. And the publisher came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to do a cover for? It's called The Donald Who Laughs versus Dark Brandon." Okay. Now, The Donald Who Laughs, DC Comics with their Dark Crisis stuff created a Batman that was actually he was the Joker. Like Bruce Wayne becomes the Joker and puts on this like spiky Batman helmet, and it's cool it's cool as shit to look at. But Keenspot decided they're gonna do a play on it, and it's the Donald Who Laughs instead of the Batman Who Laughs, right? So it's the Donald Who Laughs, and then it's Dark Brandon, which is, if you've read anything about weird 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 Joe Biden shit. Even Joe Biden has posted pictures of Dark Brandon on his Twitter. Okay. And Dark Brandon is basically a Joe Biden that wears all black and has like laser eyes. And I'll show it to you before you leave. I did a cover for it, and it makes me laugh because it's actually a parody homage cover to something from the past. Nothing that I would normally do, but I was like, again, because it didn't push one way or the other, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then, of course, like I said, got Zor number 3 coming up. Got Zor number 2 right here coming out in a couple weeks. It might actually be out this week. I don't even know. Like it could be. It's not supposed to be, but it could be. I got a couple conventions coming up. So got Fayetteville Comic Con, got Carolina Fear Fest, and then got my favorite one of all of them, Heroes Con in June. So, and then I've got another one maybe set up for August, which is a brand new convention I've never been to before.
Nice.
So with that, lots of fun stuff going on there. But Tino, let's be real.
This is going to be a WrestleMania episode, folks. So I know every week we talk about all the different ones. Too much shit happened this weekend in WrestleMania. That I want to, plus the NXT too.
Well, I want to go ahead and point out: is there anything that we want to talk about from this company right here?
Only thing happened I knew was going to happen. The Young Bucks are in the finals for the tag team.
Young Bucks versus FTR.
Like I called it.
Yep, you absolutely did.
And that's pretty much it.
Well, except let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room.
Go ahead and do your thing.
The elephant in the room is that the Young Fucks decided that they wanted to sit there and go ahead and based on...
I don't think it was Young Fucks. I think it was Tony Khan. The Young Fucks were like, yeah, okay.
Well, I think it's a way to get Jack Perry back on AEW television.
Because he hurt. Now, where's he been?
He's been in New Japan, but he's been the scapegoat.
That's right.
Right?
So, yeah, tell me what's going on.
So, this week, Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour had CM Punk on, I think, on like April 2nd. And during that appearance, he brought up all of the different things that we've been told no one that was under an AEW contract could talk about, right?
Yes.
And I'm not going to say that CM Punk actually gave any real answers, but he did do this a lot of times. Which meant when Ariel Helwani asked the question and he sat there and went, he knew what the answer was. There were also times that he sat there and said, listen, I didn't do anything that I needed to sign an NDA for. I didn't do this. I didn't. And a lot of people are like, okay, he's full of shit, right? A lot of other people were sitting there saying CM Punk sat there and answered what he was allowed to, didn't answer what he's not allowed to. And from time to time, like I said, went like this. This weekend, when WrestleMania was going on Collision, apparently the AEW brand decided they wanted to take the moment to sit there and say that they really didn't like how CM Punk handled things with that interview, which, by the way, never raised his voice, never did like I mean, he was as laid back as he's ever been, right? He's like, come on, Ariel, I can't answer that. I can't do this. I can't. But you know, and so now. Oh, we got comments. Sorry. Blitzball Champ says Jack Perry also part of the group House of Torture. Yeah, okay. That's great. Point is, thank you, Blitzball. You'll obviously be invited back. You'll be invited onto the show here shortly. We got that moment where like Ariel Helwani has a working arrangement with the WWE and with TKO because he's obviously working with UFC. He's obviously working with WWE. So I personally felt, and tell me if you feel this way, Tino. Did you feel like what Ariel Helwani was saying or asking wasn't approved by them
when it came to AEW?
No. When it came to CM Punk answering questions, were his questions run by WWE, or did they feel that he was safe enough to where he wouldn't ask anything that would get? So okay. So you don't think they were run by WWE first?
No.
You also, because of that, don't think that CM Punk's answers were run by the WWE at all. And did you watch it?
I watched a clip of it, yeah.
So there was a bunch of it, and I watched like the hour and 15 minutes.
I just watched a clip concerning the whole Jack Perry. He said that who was it? Shivani came and asked him, "Hey, can you help me? Jungle Book, whatever, is cussing people out, not listening. Can you just come and try to talk sense into it?"
And he's like, "I don't want to.
Yeah,
like leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this."
Exactly, because if I get involved,
you're not going to like how I handle it. Yeah.
So that I only saw that part. I didn't watch the whole thing.
So I watched the entire thing.
So that was probably 10, 15 minutes of what I saw.
And he was on there for like an hour and 15 minutes. And it was a good interview for the most part. Like he's talking about his return to WWE. He's talking about like, did I ever think I'd come back? Hell no. Did I ever think like I didn't know I was signing a contract until I actually showed up in Chicago and they said, "Hey, sign this contract and then you can walk out there." Okay. Like that's some crazy shit. But now, because of everything he said that made it, and he said, "Oh, all I did was I sat there and I said, 'Hey, Tony, just let me go. Let me have my money, and we're done.'" Somebody got pissed off. Who got pissed off, Tino?
Tony Khan got pissed off.
Tony Khan got pissed off. And that's why on this week's Dynamite, the young fucks
set the record straight.
They're going to set the record straight, and have told Meltzer and told Alvarez and told all of the smart marks out there, this isn't bullshit. Now, last week, they flat out came out and said, "Hey, Scapegoat, we like what you're doing." You know what that means? It means this has something to do with Jack Perry. And Jack Perry is part of the all-in backstage footage. Now, here's the other side of this, folks.
I was wondering when they said the all-in backstage, that Jack Perry, was that part of all-in? I thought that was CM Punk decking the Young Bucks, or is that
no? That's Brawl Out.
Okay.
Because that was All Out.
Okay, got it. That's why I was confused.
And then they did the I'm old, I'm tired, like that whole shit.
Yeah, I thought that's what this was talking about. Like, had to fight with the Young Bucks. This is. So what the fuck did Young Bucks have to do with it? I thought it was between Punk and Perry.
EVPs. Whatever. So they're upset about what got said about their company.
Okay.
So they're gonna, and what it really means is work.
But see, what I don't understand is, so no, go ahead and say what you said you're going to say about what's going to happen when they show this footage, and I'm going to tell you what I think.
Well, my number one thing, and I don't know if this is what I actually said that I was going to say to you, but my number one thing is this: is that CM Punk. Tony Khan is basically showing footage of CM Punk because he knows that's the only way to pop a rating.
And I said, and then they're gonna get a fucking cease and desist and get sued because he's contracted to WWE. So
and by the way, if they show any footage of anything that was signed to a non-disclosure agreement,
hey Tony. Is this a good idea? Yeah, that works.
I got billions.
I'm rich, bitch.
I'm rich, bitch. I didn't put my feet all over your couch. Fuck your couch.
Yeah, I'm not putting the feet on the couch. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
For like 18 seconds this
Tony Khan, bitch.
For like 18 seconds this weekend, it took the eyes off of WrestleMania.
18 seconds.
For like 18 seconds. Yeah. Because immediately after that came out, all of a sudden it was someone on the Pat McAfee show sitting there going, Pat McAfee just said, why don't you go stand in front of 600 people with the other company? Like, oh shit, right? So unfortunately for Tony Khan's company, this past week was not a good week for him at all. And like I told you, a guy who's currently on injury with the WWE, who made an appearance at WrestleMania and did some stuff at WrestleMania. We'll get to it.
Yeah, because I got questions.
But because like he did some stuff at WrestleMania. Is he the only person that can pop a rating at AEW? Because one of the AEW contracted wrestlers was also seen backstage with CM Punk. His name was Keith Lee, and he was like, oh shit. And they immediately, my favorite part about that was they immediately went to his wife.
That's why he was backstage. He was hanging out with her. And then he realized, oh, fuck.
No, because he walked off stage. And then he walked back in and he looked over and he goes, and then walked off again. He literally did everything he could to get seen. But anything else?
He's like, I'm not getting seen on my damn programming.
Anything else from AEW we need to talk about?
No, like I said, it'll be FTR. Samoa Joe is going to give Dustin what do you call it? Not a title shot, but when they do the like Dustin challenged him for the belt, and Joe's like, you don't deserve it, but I will give you this shot, and if you beat me, then you'll get
the Champions Challenge or whatever. Whatever that bullshit's called.
And like I said, the only big thing is the young fuck twin babies, ass babies,
the young cucks.
Yeah. So yeah,
which they, for all intents and purposes, we assume this means that Jack Perry will be back and most likely part of the Elite going forward, right?
So he kiss his ass, yeah.
Right.
All right.
So
no. One more thing. I am so sorry.
No, it's okay because I was getting ready to click Jason into this.
AEW owns ROH, and this.
Okay.
Fucking night.
Okay.
Mark Briscoe has defeated Eddie Kingston to be the new ROH World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm happy for him. You're right. He would never get an AEW championship. So for him because he what an ROH original, right?
Okay.
So to finally get his due is awesome. He probably won't hold it long, but he can say that he was champion.
He might hold it until Tony Khan goes, it's who? What's ROH? Because I mean, unfortunately, I love it. I love the fact that it happened in Philadelphia. I love the fact that it happened the night before WrestleMania. I love all of that. Unfortunately, it happened at the same time that probably the greatest promo in professional wrestling ever took place. Paul Heyman being introduced as the latest member of the Hall of Fame. And it is being, this isn't just me. This is what people like Meltzer and all that they're saying. This is the greatest wrestling promo ever delivered.
Well, I sent you the thing where he's like, it sucked my dick, and they had all the people in the background. Stephanie was like,
oh, Randy Orton was the best, though. He just got up on the ring and just started slapping the ring.
No, the best was Cody, because Cody was trying to hold it, and all of a sudden you see Cody go like this. He was trying not to laugh so hard. Even Triple H had to, but Stephanie was like, "Okay, this is what we're doing."
When they showed it live and they cut out, like, he still got 4 F-bombs out during his thing, but there were at least 6 that they cut.
I have to go back and watch. I have to watch
6 that they cut. All right, so folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite I'm going to invite our buddy Jason.
Sorry, Jason, you coming in now, buddy.
And I'm him say what's up with him. And Jason, you got about 3 minutes.
Shut up. Let that man talk.
What?
Wow.
No, I was doing 3 minutes. But I mean, Jason's still hidden in the depths of Philadelphia, apparently.
Are you still in Philly, or are you back?
No, I'm back home.
I saw your picture with Cedric and Swole. I thought that was kind of cool.
Did you see his picture with Skechers?
No, I didn't. Did you get the Oscar's grandma? You the picture?
Nah, she took a few pictures for me at one.
You didn't get a picture with her. You made her take a picture of you.
I've already met her like twice.
Yeah, but we don't have a picture of you pointing out her orthopedic Skechers.
Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
Now you know.
Now you know.
So how was it? So,
yeah. Go ahead, Jason. You got 4 minutes now.
Shut up.
I gave him an extra minute. Shut up.
Hey, Jason.
So I have to say, best vacation to this day. Like
you left Wednesday, came back Sunday.
Came back today, actually,
Okay.
early morning today. So
Okay.
Wednesday to Monday. It was totally worth like every penny. So I went to 10 shows total. 4 on Thursday, 4 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday.
Technically 11 shows because you went to one last week with me.
Oh yeah, the Elevation show. So yeah, technically 11 shows in 1 week. And
in 1 week,
I have to say, so there were 3 major highlights for me. 3.
Okay.
So course number 1 was the Stardom show, which I had the best seat. Not only did I get Saki Kashima's K-Mot band that she threw in my face after she won the high-speed title.
That's cool.
I also, during the entrance of May Sarah, she gave me her wrist tape. She slapped it on my arm before she gave me a fist bump. So that's actually on camera. I will send y'all the clip later.
All right.
So, and I got to take a picture with the president of Bushiroad Fight and Stardom, Mr. Taro Okada. So that was really big. He was there not only at the show, but helping out with the meet and greets and everything. Highlight number 2 was meeting Shuri. Not only did I meet Shuri, We interacted like 4 or 5 different times across 2 different shows, plus the meet and greet, because I had a Shuri fan towel that I would, show whenever she would come out, and she would always acknowledge it. She would either like hit it or
Knowledge.
just, yeah. So that made my heart melt. Definitely made my heart melt. And last but not least, the ROH show. So
you were there.
I wasn't supposed to be able to get in because unfortunately I had a small black bag with me that had all my meet and greet stuff, and the Licoris Center didn't allow dark bags. You had to have a clear bag.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to be screwed and not be able to get in. But there was one particular security guard that was just like, I tell you what, there's a rack over there in the corner of the entrance. You can take a chance. You can leave your bag there. I can't promise you it'll still be there. But thankfully, there were other bags there. And sure enough, I took the chance, did that. Bag was still there. All was cool.
All right.
So
you were there. You were there to see Briscoe win, beat Eddie Kingston. Then
yes.
Now you didn't try to beat up a Briscoe brother again, did you?
No, not this time. Not this time.
Okay.
So you didn't see any WWE shows at all while you were there?
No, but the For the Culture show that I went to had a whole bunch of wrestlers there just hanging out. I mean, Absolute Ricky Starks was sitting in front of me.
Wow.
Blake Christian, Cedric Alexander, Ace Austin, Gail Kim.
Wow.
Like a whole barrage. And this was a late night show. This started at midnight.
Now, did you? So Ricky Starks was there, but Ricky Starks was also in the skybox at WrestleMania for Cody Rhodes. But did you happen to get to the Josh Barnett's Bloodsport?
No, it was sold out. It was sold out.
Okay, because multiple WWE stars actually performed on that show. Shayna Baszler ended up beating somebody. Charlie Dempsey beat somebody at that show. Nick Khan was actually at that show, so Nick Khan was scouting new talent at that show. Obviously, now interestingly, you mentioned Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks also, like I said, was in the skybox at WrestleMania.
Did not know that.
But there was also another person that was in that skybox with him. Do you know who that was, Jason?
Keith Lee.
No, it was not Keith Lee. It was not Keith Lee.
Julia.
Sounds like he's not sure. No, it was not. No. Well, I'll talk about her in just a moment. Okay. No, I'm talking about the natural Dustin Rhodes was actually in that skybox as one of Cody's people that was in the skybox. Now, what Jason's talking about and what Jason mentioned just a second ago is that at the NXT show backstage, there was a young lady who is a Joshi wrestler, if I know what I'm talking about here, Jason. Also known as probably one of the best Joshi wrestlers in the world today. Might be a new NXT signee by the name of Julia.
They probably won't let her keep her name.
She did have a performer badge on as well, so I think it's official.
Well, when she takes a picture with Triple H, I think it's official.
That too.
She took the picture. Okay. It's on Triple H's official Twitter account. So yeah, I think it's now official that and man, she's gorgeous.
Are they gonna keep her name?
Probably, but I would just figure they would spell it differently. Because it's Guilia right now.
No, Giu.
Okay. I would figure they'll just spell it Julia. Julia. Yeah. Just to make it easy on the American people.
All right. I forgot to pull up the NXT one.
Yeah. So Jason, we're gonna go through the WWE shows.
Yep.
Have you gotten a chance to watch them at this point?
Yes, I did stand and deliver, and just not too long ago, about 3 hours ago, finished WrestleMania Night 2, and I watched Night 1 yesterday, so we're good.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't have a cool banner for it, so we're just gonna put up WWE PLE for all this. We're not gonna worry about what happened on SmackDown. Jey Uso won by disqualification over Solo Sikoa. It really didn't matter. Otherwise, there wasn't a lot that went on. There was some fun antics between Logan Paul, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and KO and Randy, but that was about it, right? So I do at some point want to talk about Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech, but before we do that, I think it's cool to sit there, and if Tino has this stuff pulled up, otherwise I can go through the Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, go to the whole thing because there's not.
So on Friday night, one of the things that I thought was interesting, and Jason, you can jump in here and agree or disagree with me. I thought it was really weird that right at like the 10:15 mark of Eastern Standard Time is when they started it, and they started it with Paul Heyman. Like I anticipated that he was going to be the final guy, but instead he was the first person to come out, and everybody that followed him, I kind of went like, I could turn this off. Rumor is the reason why they did it was because they wanted more people to be able to watch it live. But how did you take it?
I thought it was one of the best speeches, like just ever. And not only that, just I really felt like going through and listening to it was just like he's letting it all out. And I just really thought, yeah, it was definitely a rightful kind of speech for him.
When he came out, and when Roman actually introduced him, I thought Roman introducing him was something special because Roman was like, how do I talk about the wise man? Like, you can't talk about the wise man without actually like bringing out the wise man. You can't say anything special about him without actually understanding who he is and what he does. And then he talked about like how he knew him from when he was 3 years old, how this guy has always been part of his life. But most importantly, when it came to Roman Reigns, he said there is no Roman Reigns without the wise man,
Mhm.
and there won't ever be Roman Reigns if there is no wise man. So he's pretty much said Paul's with me for the remainder of my career. Now, granted, that could change. If all of a sudden Roman becomes a baby face or anything else, there's a possibility that the wise man leaves him, might go to the Rock, might do whatever, depending on who's baby, who's heel, whatever. But but there's so many people that you think could actually sit there and introduce Paul Heyman better, and yet I thought, and Tino, did you watch it?
No, remember I had to go back and watch it.
I'm gonna say right now that when Paul walked out and he gave Tommy Dreamer, he gave Rob Van Dam, and he gave Bubba Ray Dudley a hug, and then walked out to the ring, I was like, the right man actually introduced him. Like Roman Reigns introducing him was the right choice, and Roman really specifically going and saying, and this is just 5 days after the A&E biography on Roman Reigns, where it was produced and directed by Paul Heyman. So it was like an extension of that. But when Heyman came out and he goes, if you'll give me a couple moments, Philadelphia, I've got some things I want to say. And he talks about his children. And then he talks about his parents. And then he sits there and he goes, like, without being given that opportunity by Vincent Kennedy McMahon, or Vincent James McMahon, Vince's dad. Yeah. Without being given the opportunity to sit there and take that picture of him with Andre the Giant, and then all that stuff, we'd never be where we are today. A couple of things that really resonated were the fact that, like, he told his kids, because he spoke directly to them, he was like, in this life, it's okay to fail 100 times, as long as you take that 101st attempt, and you succeed on that one. And if you don't succeed on that one, taking the 102nd attempt and succeeding on that one. And it was like that resonated with me because so many people feel like life ends if you don't succeed on certain things, right? Like, oh shit, I fucked up here, I screwed up here, I didn't do, and it screws everything up. And yet he basically, the best part of his speech was when he sat there and he said, people say to me all the time, Paul, what happens if they try to cancel you? And he goes, and they bleeped it out because he's like, motherfucker, they've canceled me 100 times. I came back the 101st time. I still come back. And he said something like, I think you actually said it to me, where he's like, suck my motherfucking dick. And that's when you saw Randy Orton sit there in the corner, just sit there and start slapping the ring, and Stephanie McMahon laughing her butt off. And then he turned around, and what did he do? He walked over to Paul Levesque, and he sat there and he went like this, and Paul's like, just keep going. Keep going. He turns around, and at one point during this speech, he literally sat there and he said, the reason why I accepted this nomination to be the first inductee into the Hall of Fame of the new regime, nobody mentioned Vince McMahon this week. Nobody mentioned Vince. But he sat there and he said, is because from today to the day I die, I will forever be a Paul Levesque guy.
Wow.
Yep.
And for the first time ever, gentlemen, there was a chant of Paul Levesque, Paul Levesque. And Sami Zayn was sitting behind Triple H, and he leaned up and he goes, bet you never heard that one before. And you see him say it, and you just see Paul Levesque, Triple H sit there and go like this. And he's like, it went on for a while, right? And there was an EC dub chant. There was this, the best part. By the way, I was telling Tino before we went on the air, Jason, that this is now looked at as possibly the greatest wrestling promo of all time.
Oh, I can believe it.
He had this dirty old fucking cardboard box, Tino, and he had his shoulder on it and his elbow on it for like half and then he goes, if you'll grant me another moment, I know you want to talk about those 3 special letters, but just please let me get to where I'm going. He points out, he's talking about Stephanie McMahon. He goes, if you notice, she's wearing a little hat, and by the way, it's the backwards cap, and he goes, and the letters on that are ECW. And for those that don't realize it, I'm going to say right now, I think tonight might be the first night that she realizes she married the wrong Paul.
Oh, God.
Wow.
And then, of course, he goes, after he talks about his kids, he sits there and he says, I really wish that my mom could be here tonight to be part of this. More than that, I really wish my dad could be here and be part of this because here I am, just a Jew boy from, like what part of New York he's from and everything. And he's like, and in this is where I am, right? And then he goes, but now let's go ahead and talk about those 3 little letters and what they actually meant to my career. And he opens up that cardboard box.
I saw that on YouTube.
And he pulls out the phone and he goes, shit, this might be the real phone that I plugged Sting in the head with on Bash at the Beach and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I think it might be the real one. And then he pulls out a baseball cap and he pulls out the legitimate leather jacket that he used to wear, and he pulls out that headset and he puts the headset around and he goes, so let's shoot from the hip. And he does. And I'm not gonna break it down. I'm because I can't. We don't have time. He went for 40 minutes. But I'm telling you, he brought up Brock Lesnar, he brought up Stone Cold Steve Austin, he brought up many different people. He brought up all the people that were in the audience that he hugged and everything else. But then he sat there and he said, I'm also with the GOAT. I'm with the greatest of all time. I'm with Roman Reigns. And like, if Paul Heyman is going to sit there and tell me that Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time, I can't dispute it. He knows. He's been there 45 years. He knows. He's been with the entirety of the Samoan dynasty. So, all right. Did you pull it up?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're going to talk about WrestleMania 40. Oh, okay. Stand and deliver first?
Yeah, well,
okay.
Just real quick.
Sure.
You had Spears and Gacy, which I thought was a very entertaining match, but I also thought at the beginning, I think Gacy's going to finish continue his rivalry with Dijak, because Dijak came and hit him in the back with that chair before he even got to the ring.
Well, remember, Gacy actually helped Dijak win his match.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Dijak that hit him. I was wrong. It was Ridge. Ridge Holland hit him with the chair. That was my fault.
Okay.
But because Gacy was facing Sean Spears the one that came when he debuted and hit Holland with the chair. And while Spears was making his way down, you could hear the commentators, no, Ridge, no, Ridge, and they were holding him back. So when Gacy walked by, that's why he hit Gacy. So he's probably going to have something with Gacy.
Oh, by the way, the last thing that Heyman stated, or do you want me to let you actually watch it?
I'm sure we'll get to it.
All right, I won't say it. Continue.
Then you have the NXT tag champs. They actually, the Wolf Dogs versus Nathan Frazer and Axiom. So we knew. I kind of thought that they might let Frazer and Axiom win it so Braun could go on and do a SmackDown thing, but nope.
I didn't think so. Nope. I felt like this was going to be a retain, and they did.
The North American Championship with Oba Femi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak.
Hell of a match.
That was
definitely
going to be. Oba Femi is just
he's
a beast, dude.
No, he's not just a beast. He is what do they call it when you do it for the first time and you are amazing at it.
He's a fucking prodigy. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not just a prodigy though. He's like
he's got it already.
Yes.
Already he's got it.
Like I by SummerSlam he's going to be on the main roster.
Yeah. What do you think?
Jason, what do you think?
Oba Femi, I've definitely been very high on since he debuted, and honestly,
Alex.
although Josh Briggs is another one that, I've known since Evolve, and I think he's definitely a rising star as well. He's got the build and he's got the talent. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on, but a great overall triple threat match.
Probably the best move I saw all weekend, guys, was when Josh Briggs grabbed Dijak by the throat and threw him through Obafemi in the chair.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went, what the fuck did I just see?
Second best match is when I think it was Josh Briggs had Dijak on the top
Same
rope.
Same match.
Same match. He had he had Dijak on the. He put Dijak on his shoulder. He's still standing on the rope. Obafemi comes up underneath them, and then he falls back. So this dude on top gets the fucking fireman, whatever.
See, we've seen the three-way person
But it was
from the top rope
about that.
But nothing like him going through Obafemi, and like I was like,
yes,
they're both broken.
Yes.
Now, at the same time, I watched that and I was like, that was scary. Like, I don't want to see people do that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, granted, just 2 weeks ago, Jason, we saw Tyrannosaurus put an Amish guy through a flaming table.
That we did.
But anyways, I love that match, by the way.
I think
and this is the second
solid.
time we've seen Josh Briggs actually put in that type of situation, which means now
building him up.
Now here's the thing: when it comes to Dijak, they haven't done shit with him.
No.
Like, I think they're letting his contract run out. I think they're sitting there using him to the best of his ability. But dude has everything, and they're doing everything with him. Although I did see that video where the one guy sat there and said he was like Shaft, and he goes, "Dude, did you realize I'm white?"
Yeah.
And I laughed my ass off.
I saw that a
that.
couple weeks ago. It was Briggs that told him that. You're walking around here looking like Shaft in your leather jacket. He goes, "Did you just call me Shaft?"
He's like, "Bro, I'm white."
Yeah.
But no, I thought that match was amazing. Obafemi, like, literally now is on match 15 of his career. 15.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And yet not only is he the North American champion in NXT, which means he's literally on par to be like Intercontinental or US champ later this year.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, Kelani Jordan versus JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dane.
Thea Hale getting the win was pretty nice.
Yeah. I wish it had been on JC, but
agreed. Right. After this match, we did get the announcement from
Ava Rain.
She said, because NXT has the best women's division in all of professional wrestling, they are announcing the women's North American Championship. Okay. And I am all about it. It actually got a huge pop from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So
because they really because they have
they had the women's tag team championship, but they combined them.
Yes, so they don't have anything else.
Well, they got a women's championship.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's all they have. So the men, they got the tags, they got the.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and because of that, it actually makes sense to introduce not the 19th AEW championship. Continue.
Valkyrie and Roxanne Perez. Did we see a switch?
Like Swerve? Like a
the baby face to heel kind of.
Well, I think
because they were booing Perez going in, but when she won, as she was building up, they started cheering for her. When she won, they cheered, and even though she still acted heelish, she did the whole snatching the title.
I think with her, hold on, Jason, go ahead, give us your opinion, because obviously you're more of the women's wrestling aficionado.
Solid match. Not surprised at the outcome. I definitely figured Roxanne was going to win. Definitely still heelish, especially with her post-match backstage interview. Definitely still riding the heel vibe. If anything, there's probably going to be a split between Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria.
That's coming.
So I'm all aboard on all of that. I do think that it's possible that the NXT audience looks at this ride that Roxanne has been on and is looking at that as something that they needed to cheer. Not necessarily that they need to cheer her, but they need to cheer the fact that, like, she had it taken from her. She didn't win it the next time. She didn't win it the next time. She finally got there. Now, granted, that could also mean, depending on how they actually build her character, they might start cheering the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a good possibility. But again, I think that where she was and where she is, like, the amount of growth that we've seen in Roxanne Perez is astronomical. I mean, and I'm not even saying that when she beat Mandy Rose for that title the first time, she wasn't ready. I'm just saying that this is a complete character now, whereas back then it was a really good baby face with no other other side of the coin.
Right.
Agree.
So this surprised me that the NXT Championship would come
before
a semi-main.
Yeah.
So we got Dragunov and Tony D. What'd you think of the match?
Solid.
Jason,
solid match overall. I thought it was pretty interesting to see Tony D, didn't give in to the interference, didn't give in to the heelish ways, definitely stuck to his roots, and even great sportsmanship afterwards. And Ilya Dragunov, like, I love his character, whether he stays a face or ever goes heel, just like
I think he's becoming more heelish every time we see him. Calling him the Czar? Are you kidding me? Come on, he's getting more and more heelish as he goes on.
And Tony going in this match was heelish, and they were cheering him, like you said. But like he was saying, to turn down
Tony became more and more babyface.
Yeah, turning down
the double turn thing that you're talking about, and I'm not even saying that Dragunov was a babyface going into the match. I'm just saying that it separated them as to who was the babyface and who was the heel by the end of the match here.
The turning point for me in that, it was a good match, but that one where Tony D was getting his ass beat, and then Dragunov did the whole kiss thing, kissed him on the mouth, and Tony D like kind of snapped out of it. I'm like, okay, this is where he's going to whoop their ass. He's going to win. So I was like, because Tony D didn't have a lot of, he had some offense, but that was Dragunov, who was still nursing that hurt hand, but was still whooping his ass.
It's interesting to me because I still don't necessarily think that Tony D'Angelo is ready for this kind of match, and yet he stepped up to the level that he needed to.
And then finally, whoop that trick.
Gentlemen, go ahead and talk about this one.
I'm gonna let Jason. Jason, you the guest.
I have to say the build up to this moment was just, I felt like, was superior. The match definitely delivered, told a good story, and just when it counted the most, Trick being able to hit that trick knee and get the victory, of course, in his home of Philadelphia. And I just, more and more as they were starting to build their relationship and each other's character, I just had this feeling that little by little Trick would eventually shine and become a star of his own. And I felt like it happened a lot quicker than expected, but I think this really puts a cap on it, and for him to go to the next level with this victory.
I think it's a kind of, I agree with it. It happened. It did happen fast, but I think they pounced on this burgeoning popularity. I mean, the whoop that trick. These people were behind it. When his music hits, these people lose their minds, right?
Yep.
But two, he's good. You know what I'm saying?
Not just on NXT, by the way.
Yeah.
Like on SmackDown when he's not even on the show.
Whoop that trick.
You're hearing whoop that trick, and then all of a sudden you hear either Corey Graves or Pat McAfee, and they're like, well, shout out to NXT real quick, but go ahead.
But he transcends.
He transcends.
He's transcends. So I think he's ready to move up, and they need to do that because Just like what I thought they did with Braun Breaker. I got a feeling Carmelo's moving up now. So they kind of ended that chapter, and they've got Trick in place he's main event ready. He's ready. You know what I'm saying?
Now, obviously, just so everybody in the audience knows, we obviously are not watching Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Mania. Right now, we Tino might stick around for a little while and watch some of it with me, but
we get out of here before midnight.
But he's gonna go home before it's over. I'll watch the rest of it tonight. But we obviously won't talk about it till tomorrow. But yeah, I think when you look at this all goes back to, okay, so this goes to like when Triple H was talking about the NIL stuff that the WWE is doing, right? Mm-hmm. Trick Williams has literally been wrestling less than 2 years. Obafemi has had 15 matches in his WWE career, and he is not just a prodigy, but he right now is on a Brock Lesnar level of understanding the psychology of
what we call ready for prime time. So he's ready to go up to the main roster right now.
He is, but he's going to be an NXT champion before he gets. Like they are going to fully make sure that he is everything. And Trick Williams, I kind of think needs the same thing, except Trick Williams is there. He's been the bad guy. He's been the good guy. He's gotten over he's worked with some of the best people. Like Ilya Dragunov, working with him is just like, it's unheard of at how good Trick worked with him. And Trick shouldn't have been that. Like Dragunov has been there for years. He was in NXT UK. He was overseas. He really, I mean, but before we talk about somebody else, he's the last guy to be Walter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say what his name is now because we're going to talk about that. So, all right, gentlemen.
Night one.
I think it is really time to talk about night one, WrestleMania.
Oh, boy.
Match of the night.
Believe it or not, was the men's world champion.
No, night one.
Oh, damn it. Sorry.
It's the women's
world champion. I'm sorry. I pulled up the wrong screen.
No, and I loved how Triple H actually talked about this match afterwards at the press conference. He said, if I sat there and said we should put the women on in this situation, that's not being fair and that's not treating everybody the same. And I fucking loved it. The fact that Rhea Bloody Ripley versus Becky Lynch opened the show. Becky Lynch, by the way, suffering from strep throat with 102 fever.
I didn't know that.
102 fever.
She was sick in that match?
Went out there.
Yep.
And did everything in her power, wearing an outfit that actually was based on her fucking book cover.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the way they did. They had the book, reading her clips of the book before she came out. That was cool.
Yeah. Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah, Rhea coming out to her band actually, and she came out. The only thing I don't like about this, gentlemen,
and Rhea before that, 2 hours she was having a panic attack before she went out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
2 hour panic attack before she went out. She was just so
hyped up
and nervous.
Yeah. But the thing I don't like about what they do with the fucking women. Why the fuck does Rhea Ripley look like she's got like zombie eyes and shit? Like, just let her look like a gorgeous woman.
That's part of her character.
But that's part of the whole Judgment Day.
No, because they've done it with Ronda Rousey. They've done it with Charlotte. They've done it with.
They do it on PLEs. They don't do it on. So this is their Super Bowl. This is their show. So that's why they do. And you look at her band though. You know, the band, the makeup match. It was. I enjoyed. All
right, because it might have matched the band. I agree, but otherwise, let the women look like gorgeous people because they are gorgeous people. Let the men look gorgeous if they look gorgeous.
You don't say nothing about her wearing.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler. When she does all that, you say nothing about her. You said let her look gorgeous too.
I
stumped him.
I don't know how you make her.
Anyway.
I mean, a pit bull's a pit bull, bro.
Anyway.
I love her, but...
You can get us canceled.
No!
So, what you think of the match?
Solid. I
didn't know she was sick.
Dude, she wasn't just sick.
Strep throat as well.
Strep throat, 102 fever. That woman could barely move, and yet she put on a fucking clinic.
So knowing that now,
and by the way, that match started the night, and that set the level, and a lot of matches for the rest of the night did not meet that. Yeah.
Not to mention, it was a 17-minute long match.
There you go.
And not to mention, apparently, that was outside of Philly Stadium, so I know it was cold out there.
Luckily, they went on early, which meant it was probably still warmer than. But when I say warmer, it was that first night. I think the high was 47 degrees. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the high was. And Jason can talk about that. He was in Philly.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, it was cold. I think. For night 2, it was just a little bit warmer. It was much warmer, but yeah, it was my whole time in Philly. It was freaking cold.
Chris Barrett just said, come on, Rob. They make Otis look like a damn handsome man. You're right. They do make him look like it's the beard.
6-pack challenge match.
God damn right, man.
When fucking DIY came out dressed like damn DX.
Oh, yeah.
When Ciampa came out that Triple H gear and Gargano had his Shawn Michaels. Oh, my God.
You know what would have made it better, though? Is if they actually brought the band out that actually sang them into WrestleMania 15.
Well, the dude's dead.
Oh, is he?
The lead singer for the DX band. Yeah,
they could have gotten another guy.
Yeah. But if they would have came out.
Regeneration!
No, all they would have had to do, are you ready? That's all. That's all they could
with the green glow sticks.
That's all they would have had to play.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to do the whole song. Just are you ready?
But you know, I didn't even see that. But I'm so glad to hear that they actually came out looking like
yes. So that was cool.
So obviously last week when we were on the air, folks, just want to point out we did not know that the stipulation was the match did not end until both sets of titles were pulled down. Otherwise, we would have probably made the same type of connection that there were going to be two new champions.
I was half right because I did say that I thought the Awesome Truth were going to win.
Well, so did I.
Yeah. I also want to say, speaking of outfits too, we cannot overlook his which boy name? Xavier Woods with his Consequences Creed.
Oh, Consequences Creed. Yeah,
that dude was a callback.
That wasn't a Consequences Creed outfit. That was an Apollo Creed outfit.
But that was the gear he.
That's what he wrestled a lot with in TNA.
TNA back in the day, but nobody remembers that.
So why? So what do I do? So why? So what do you think of A-Town Down Under being the SmackDown champion?
The only other team that I would have thought would have had a chance there would have been the New Catch Republic.
Yes.
Same.
Rather have them.
However, it's one of those moments where like you kind of want the bad guys to have it. Because now this means that the Street Profits can go after it. The New Catch Republic can go after it. Hell, even the
Yes Boys.
The Yes Boys can go after it. I'm trying to figure out what to call them, but yes, the Yes Boys. Or I mean, if you really
gonna fuck around, AOP's gonna whoop that ass.
That was the other one I was going to mention.
Oh man,
because we can talk about night 2 real quick, but but yeah, all right. So I was okay with it. It's good having a young group and an older group separating them.
Yeah,
older group. When the motherfucking R-Truth,
when he pinned him.
No, when he tried to get Miz to tag him in, he tagged him in. And
and
Miz was like, "No, you got to go up the ladder." And then they were fighting over. It was who were they fighting with? It was Miz and Truth. And the other team came in. Oh, it was the Catch. No, it was DIY, and they were fighting over the ladder. And Truth's like, "No, you go there, we'll go there." They're like, "Yeah."
That
R-Truth, man, R-Truth. I don't care what you say.
So
he makes that every show he's on.
So I'm going to tell you right now. I play a game called WWE Supercard, and every time WWE Supercard posts a tweet, they're always like, "Who should be the next special card that we make?" Right?
True.
And every single time I put hashtag #RTruth. Every fucking time. And the reason why is because he makes everything more fun. And,
Yes.
and even during this, the payoff of Judgment Day losing and having Truth be the one, not Miz, but having Truth be the one to pull down those belts. Like, the whole time he was pulling them, I was like, he's going to get knocked off that goddamn thing. I'm so mad when he gets knocked off that ladder, because he had just knocked Damian Priest off the ladder. And I'm like, when they knock him off that, I'm going to be so mad. And then he was able to finally get it. And he's like, yeah. And then the Miz comes up and he's like, you did it. And he's like, yeah. Like, by the way, his first win at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And I think when you think about the Triple H era, and Triple H, when he came, when R-Truth came back, what was it? SummerSlam?
Which time? Yeah.
Well, most recently, like he had been out
Yeah.
with the injury. He comes back, and then all of a sudden at the press conference, Triple H is like, R-Truth's a fucking he's a fucking treasure. Like he knows he's a treasure. Yeah. He's a 50-something-year-old treasure, and yet Triple H recognized that, and 6 months later says, "Go get it."
Yeah.
Like, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Andrade Mysterio.
Meh.
And Dominic and Santos.
Jason Kelsey wins this match.
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
No. They wanted the surprise thing. Whatever. I was okay with it. Andrade actually being a baby face with Rey Mysterio, I'm okay with. It was filler.
Yeah.
Night one, like I was actually trying to think back after watching all of night one, going, how many surprises were there? There was one. There was Jason Kelsey and what's his face?
Lane Johnson.
They said all the surprises on night two.
Well, but there even weren't all that many then either. But that's not true because when we got to Jay versus Jimmy,
which is next,
we had the special music intro
for
Jay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, with Lil Wayne.
Was it T.I.? No.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, yeah.
So,
is that the next match?
Yes, it's the next match.
So
That was.
I was disappointed, and in fact, ever since Brett versus Owen, the other two brother versus brother matches have not lived up to the hype. Saying it right now, did not live up to the hype. This match literally was just like, hey, what if we had the Young Bucks sitting there in a match together? Oh, you know what we do? We just kick each other. Face, kick face, kick face, kick face.
Can I before this match started, and I text you, I had to go back there and text to see what
they were better night two than they were night one.
But night one, McAfee, when he was up doing the Uso dance and he's doing it, and Corey Graves looking and says, "Why are your hips so aggressive?" I almost fell off my couch.
I heard that the first time, and I was over at Tony's house watching night one, and I almost peed.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
wow.
Every time, though, even on Raw, he's like, yeah, I skeeted all over. No, I yeeted all over myself. You just got to yeet all over yourself. And I'm like, you know what he's saying. And he's trying to get Cole to pop.
This is why you really enjoyed Snoop Dogg's commentary night two.
Dogg, oh my God.
But we'll get there.
His commentary was
I hated it.
It was.
I was
Oh,
so
it was the worst. It was the worst.
Oh God, it made me laugh.
so I told Shavar because he was in the audience night 2.
Mm.
I was like, be glad you don't have to listen to Snoop Dogg. And he just sent me like 3 smiley faces, like laughing really hard. All right.
So this match, what do you think of the match?
I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like it?
I felt like after everything we've seen from the Usos over the past 10 years,
Mhm.
this was the worst representation of them ever. Like,
Yep.
like
Something was missing. Yeah, I agree.
well, it literally became just a super kick fest where it should have
Super kick party.
Oh.
where it should have been. Let's do some moves. Let's for whatever reason, now all of a sudden, all the Usos, every single one of the Samoans sit there and do a spear. Oh, all of them do a super kick. Oh, like I'm done with that. Like, where did their high flying moves go? Where did the suplexes go? Where did the
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Could have been better.
It was probably the worst match of the night.
Oh,
Yeah, I would have to agree.
And it shouldn't have been.
Okay.
They should have been able to deliver. Now, granted, again, they did better on night 2 than they did on night 1.
Well, my thing is they need.
Go ahead.
Oh, my thing is they need to get to a point where they not only start separating the Usos, not only in gimmick and overall look, but move wise as well. And there's no telling when they're actually going to do that. And this match definitely is not a good start for that.
I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where they're actually doing different moves. They might have different finishers. I don't think we're going to see them do different moves. But I also think that as long as they keep them on the different programs, that's okay.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So
it was the next match for me. So the next match is the women's match, the tag match, Damage Control versus Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca. That was
it was filler. It was meant to be filler. We all know that. It was meant to show Jade Cargill but
it didn't.
But what did they show though? What, that she could do 4 moves? Like, this is no different from how she is on AEW. And honestly,
Jason, watch your tone, sir.
I feel like my whole thing is I get it. I didn't think Damage Control was going to win, but really the most that Jade does is like 3 or 4 moves and gets the victory in a match that only lasted 8 minutes. That was a travesty. That was a travesty.
I'm going to point a couple things out here. If you notice the timeline of WrestleMania Night 1 versus WrestleMania Night 2, the main event for Night 1 started at 10 o'clock. The main event for Night 2 started at 9:40. I'm going to say that matches went long Night 1.
Yep.
And matches were on time on Night 2. I think that was the big thing, and it's because they absolutely sat there and said, "Hey, we're going to go an hour with main event Night 2. We know that." But everything else was, and part of it was probably Becky might have not been able to go long, so they went short on that match, but then they went long on a couple others, kind of thing. I think that they probably cut the time because when they were backstage and they were at Gorilla, Triple H and The Rock are sitting there saying, "Hey, we're going to need this much time to do this because I'm going to go up to Mama Rhodes and I'm going to bring my mom in and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and whatever." And I think that cut time out of that match. But if there was a match that you needed to cut time from, it was that match.
I mean, and that's fine, but it's the fact of how they showcased her when they brought her in. Like,
they done more with her in a short amount of time.
Agreed.
That's what you're saying, Jay.
Yeah.
I
think we're all in agreement. I think that Jade, like, and the big argument that's been said on different radio shows and everything else, Meltzer and everybody else has basically said, they claimed that they were keeping Jade off TV to prepare her for the WWE workload. and yet they made her do exactly what she did in AEW. And I think that it became something where they were like, hey, if you only have 8 minutes to do your match, what can you do to show off? And I think that's where it came in, which, by the way, I don't think it would have worked if she was in AEW.
I don't know. I don't see how somebody still so green can like get elevated to the point of WrestleMania and have a moment like that, just like that. It makes no sense to me. But
I don't know if
I
you can call her
digress.
green at this point. She does have like 80 matches under her belt.
Against who though? Look at the line of talent that she's jobbers. Like 80% of no, 90% of them were jobbers.
She went.
Jason, do you have helium? Is that what's going on over there?
She went. Statlander wasn't a jobber.
Sky Blue.
Statlander. She went against Taya Valkyrie.
Taya Valkyrie, Sky Blue.
Okay, you know what? Let me pull up Cage Match.
No. We're gonna move on.
Oh yeah, I know it's damn near 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he wants to like we're gonna watch a little bit of Raw before he leaves. So
Gunther, Sami Zayn. I thought it was a good match. You said you didn't, or did you say
no? It was a good match. It was a great match.
Good match.
In a way, Sammy. You said something.
I didn't think Sammy should have won. But because I already had it in my head that Gunther was going to hold that belt till he went against Cody Rhodes.
I told you that wouldn't happen.
And it didn't. I loved the before the match Kevin Owens giving Sammy the hug.
Yes.
It reminded me, and you know it's probably going to go over badly, but Benoit and Eddie. It had that feel, right? But night 2, you also had the same feel when Sammy came and he had the belt on his shoulder and he sits there and he looks at Kay and he goes, "Now it's your turn," right?
All right.
The match itself, Sammy put everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was a match that looked like Rocky 4, it looked like Rocky 4.
Well, somebody said that, and they're like Gunther looks like a Drago. He said, but Sammy doesn't look like Malbach, the Italian Stallion.
When they were on, I think the McAfee show, Michael Cole actually said this match is like Rocky 4 and Sami Zayn is Rocky. And
yeah, but on that night though, they were like
they definitely made mention of some of it. But when he hit the haluva kick and Gunther fell to his knees, I was like, oh shit. This is happening.
I think Gunther took for granted that he's going to win the match because he should have. How many times he power bombed that bitch, and then he went out in the ring to talk shit to Sammy's wife, and he took his eye off the ball.
You know, the sad thing is that we're going to talk about this when we talk about night 2, right? But what I think happened here was Triple H wanted to give the crowd a late night feel-good moment, and that's why he went with this. Because the last match of the night, which we're getting ready to talk about.
So what do you think of the Gunther match, Jay? With Sammy Gunther?
I was pretty shocked. I did not think they were gonna pull the trigger on Sammy, but you know, with the way that they did it, I felt like it was good. I mean, it was definitely a David versus Goliath type of match. Yeah, I just didn't think it'd be Sami Zayn. But what bothers me about it though is he was able to do all that and slay Gunther, but not Roman Reigns. That bothers me just a little. Just a little.
There are two different levels.
Well, hold on. No. It wasn't just Roman Reigns. Like, if he had just gone up against Roman Reigns, he would have slayed Roman Reigns. He also took super kicks. He also took spears. He also took a thumb from like, so when he went up against Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber, he kicked out of almost everything, but he couldn't kick out of all 5 members of the bloodline hitting him.
I get that, but at the same time, how much longer is he going to still be stuck in mid-card purgatory?
Yep.
Well, I think that's where you're missing it. Like Gunther elevated the Intercontinental Championship back to main event status over 666 days. And because of that, I think that...
But it's still not the world title.
It's not, but it does mean that if Sammy can get, I don't know, 4 or 5 months under his belt with the belt, I think
He's a full-time champion, though.
It's different, though, man. It's different. It's different because look at the length of men's championship runs since Triple H took over. It's different.
I understand that, but at some point, when you've had 2 tag titles and have held a mid-card title 4 times, I mean, when is it going to finally give? That's all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, this is going to elevate Gunther.
Yeah,
I'm
sure. Talking about Sammy, though.
I'm sure this is going to move Gunther up. When it comes to Sammy, Sammy's probably going to elevate people like Chad, and then Sammy's going to continue on his roll to the next top title.
He had to put that in there.
Anyways,
final the
main event, an hour-long match.
Well, 20 of it was entrances.
Actually, I think it still went an hour.
Yeah.
I think it was an hour and 20 minutes.
It was pretty long.
But I will say this. The Rock was better prepared for this than he was the first John Cena match. He literally was able to keep his gas tank going the entire night. I don't think he ever looked gassed out, which surprised me. I thought that, and I anticipated that he would, like, there was once where they showed him outside the ring and he was pouring water on himself and whatever. But for the most part, like, I was blown away by how well a 51-year-old man in a 4-month period got himself ready, even though it was a tag team match, got himself ready for that match and was able to perform at the level that he was.
But I also didn't like the fact. So, okay, we knew that The Rock and Roman were going to win, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't like the fact that The Rock used his power, where he told the ref, if you count him out, you're fired. You know what I mean?
Loved it. I loved it. Because it basically gave an impression of what Bloodline Rules was before Bloodline Rules came into effect. And that's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
Like, because when and he didn't really instill rules or anything until they went outside and Chad Patton started counting. And he was like, fuck you, stop counting, I'll fire you.
No, but even in the ring, when he had it was a Seth and Cody down, and the referee's like this, and he went over to Seth like, I'm sorry. It's not that.
No, but that was great. Was the fact that the referee actually acknowledged what was going on and went over to the other guys. And he's like, I can't fix it. I'm sorry. Like, it just meant that the deck was already stacked against them.
Right.
Even
so
more so.
You knew. I mean, yes, we knew, but that didn't leave you any doubt. You know, he might squeak it out. That was like, okay, definitely, fuck it. It's going to be a Bloodline Road match tomorrow night. You know what I mean? It didn't leave way for them to have a chance to win.
I agree with you, but I think what that did was that was meant to give you the impression that night 2 was going to be even that more stacked against Cody.
Yeah. I don't know.
Truly, I think that was.
I knew that's what I know that. But
yeah.
Still leave you a chance to get a glimmer of hope. You know what I mean?
My point there, though, is
that suspend my belief. I can't suspend my disbelief. Well, he's the boss. He just said he'll fucking fire the ref if he goes against him.
Well, but Cody still almost won the match. And again, I think it really was the 2-night story of, hey, we're really gonna make this stacked against Cody, and I felt that's what they did.
What are your thoughts, Jay?
I have mixed feelings.
Why are you yelling?
I mean, he did it too.
He did not yell.
He might have.
No.
Oh, shit.
I have mixed feelings about it. Like, my whole thing with The Rock, I felt like 60% of his time in the match was just him talking junk and kind of pacing, walking around on Cody. You know, I mean, yeah, he got his shots in, but I think if anything, it was just eventually going to set up for him to finally hit a rock bottom people's elbow and get the pinfall. Like, I'm not saying that it had to be anywhere on the level of like the no holds barred match between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I would have liked to have seen a little more in ring involvement from The Rock.
I think that so Jason, I get what you're saying, but if you go back and look at the 2 matches against John Cena, for example, not even the CM Punk matches, but the John Cena matches, you will notice that that's pretty much what he did during that, because that's what the fans wanted to see from him. They don't care if he's sitting there doing suplexes and jumping off the top rope. They don't care about anything.
They want to see him going to the commentary table and taking the headset off him, talking smack while he's whooping him. Yeah,
taking a sip of the water, spitting it at the guy.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like
because that's him. That's his persona.
He's not the showboat.
Yeah, he's not the wrestler. He's a showman.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So while I agree with you that it would have been nice to have seen a lot more of the moves that Flex Cabana used to do, we're not gonna get those at this point.
That Rocky.
We're not gonna
Rocky
get.
Maivia.
We're not gonna get those moves anymore. Although, if they had brought out the kid that played Rocky Maivia in Young Rock to come out and actually take some of the moves for him, like, I would have been okay with that, because that dude, like,
Mizdow.
no, but like Sting's son.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd have been okay with it. All right, night 2.
First match. This is what messed up.
By the way, folks, just so you know, if you didn't see it, The Rock and Roman Reigns, The Rock pinned Cody Rhodes. That was the end of night 1. Cody Rhodes crying. Let's go.
Night 2 first starts off with Cult of Personality walks because he's going to be special guest commentator for the first match, which is the men's championship match with Drew McIntyre and one Mr. Seth.
After
Mr. Becky Lynch.
After CM Punk won 2 Slammies at 11 a.m.
Okay. So Mr. Lynch came down.
Yes, Mr. Lynch.
Mr. Lynch. It was a good match. Now,
Mr.
Lynch. Drew spent too much time.
He did one of the best things I've ever seen.
What?
He went to his wife, who was sitting, by the way, in the exact same seats that Sammy's wife was sitting in, that the exact same seats that Cody's mom was sitting in. That, like apparently that was just their, hey, we've got an extra seat here, we can put you in. But he went over after he knocked Seth down. He grabs his phone from her and writes "bored at work" and sends a tweet. And then the match happens. Bad Bunny sends a reply to the tweet that says, "How was your shift?"
Yeah.
Great match. Great match. He kept messing around with Punk. So he kept messing around with Punk. Punk's like, you need to pay attention to what you're doing. He finally, after how many claymores did Seth Rollins kick out of?
3.
Nothing was more than that. He got kicked the first time. He
took a couple of future shocks too.
It took some future shocks.
You got to get 5, at least 5 claymores. Finally went down.
I loved that the match started with ding, 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 Claymore. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yes.
And then Seth kicked out, and I was like, God damn it, really? Like, I wanted that to be.
They went to the outside, they went to the inside. You know, it was a good match.
Went for stomps, went for this, went for that.
And he was selling his knee. He was selling the knee.
He was. Drew ends up winning the match. Drew goes outside. He's sitting there, like, standing in front of Punk, and Punk's like, I can't hear you. I'm wearing cups.
I'm wearing cans.
Like, I'm wearing cans. I can't hear you. I don't know what you're talking. And he's like, oh, you can hear me. You know what I'm saying.
I thought it was cool that Punk kept his cool. You notice when he got pissed. So Punk kept his cool until Drew did this directly in his face because he's standing on the announce table. So
Yeah.
so Punk's face is in my man's crotch, and he went and Punk's like, and so he turned and Punk swept the legs.
Well, he grabbed the leg and yanked it.
Yeah. Yanked him
Took off
down.
the jacket and the brace, and he hit him with the brace, right? And he started stomping him. Now, I thought, okay, they're going to start a program
Immediately.
They're going to start a program with Punk. With Punk and Drew over this title until the fucking music hit.
See, I didn't think that. I thought, where's the music? Like, because that whole thing was taking so long, I was like, they're getting Priest ready. They're getting Priest ready.
I got to get in on this after y'all are done.
Honestly,
go ahead.
No, honestly, I'm like, he's not gonna cash it. You know, because it's been so long. Yeah, it was taking so long for the music to hit, and he's had so many. I'm cashing in, and they stopped it, right? So I figured he would cash in the night after.
And that, I mean, that was obviously the play that most people thought. But Jason, go ahead.
So here's my thing with this. Match was barely 10 minutes, but I'm okay with it being that these two have faced each other and have had longer good matches. I also thought it was hilarious because so many fans were so hyped up about, oh, Drew's finally going to win the title and get his moment in front of the fans. Kind of like implying, like when he won it at WrestleMania on Brock Lesnar, like it didn't count. I'm like, first of all, it was WrestleMania. Second of all, you beat Brock Lesnar. If it didn't count, it wouldn't have happened. All that. And then for him to lose it to Damian Priest on, guess what? A cheap cash in, because that's all the Money in the Bank ever is, ever was, ever will be.
No.
And it just added another reason why I will never be a fan of Money in the Bank. I never have been, never will be. It is the cheapest way to put a title on somebody. Period.
So I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think that this allows Damian Priest, who lost his title the night before, to get face back and actually be put into a very prominent position in a brand new era, especially when it comes to WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is supposed to be the end of stories. The next night is supposed to be the beginning of stories.
And he's ready.
The other side of it is that, like, we don't know if Drew McIntyre is under contract.
That too.
So if Drew McIntyre's not under contract, Triple H could have been like, hey, here's the deal. I'm giving you what you want. You want that win in front of the crowd of 70,000 people. I'm going to give you that, and I'm even going to give you 3 minutes where you actually have that. But because you still haven't signed on the dotted line, I am taking it from you right now. Jason, I'm not reading anything that you're writing on the.
That wasn't towards you. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. But that's how I felt about it. And I'll take that to the bank. What's that?
I think too. I think Judgment Day is about to
implode.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're about to.
That I can see happening.
It started with Dom because Dom's hanging out more with Phantasma.
I was waiting for Dom to actually, I was waiting for Andrade to turn on Ray and then Dom to have to save his dad.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
And it didn't happen, and I was a little disappointed by that. But go ahead.
The Final Testament against Pride in the street fight. I didn't realize it was going to be a street fight.
Yeah, it was one of the last things they had announced about it. I think.
Best part of this match was Bully Ray.
I didn't see that one coming.
He even, when he put the glasses on, I was like, oh, he's Bubba Ray. He's not even Bully Ray.
Yeah.
He's never been Bully Ray in WWE.
When he started directing traffic, he goes,
well, so all right, Tino hates when I do this, but today on Busted Open, hold on, he actually mentioned that the one table that broke before they actually did,
was hilarious.
He said that he was like, that table's already broken, but I can't do anything about it because I'm the referee. I can't fix the table for them. So he was like, guys, and they just kept doing what they were supposed to, and he just could get another table like that.
Well, after it broke,
yeah. Unfortunately, one of the biggest miscues, I think, of the Triple H era so far is Final Testament. I'm not a big fan of Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits either.
Same.
It works better than the Final Testament, but I think that both groups, I think that we're getting stable heavy in both major wrestling companies because you have too many people, and I think that it's time to start.
I'm just glad the Profits got their original music back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weird music.
Well, when they announced who the sponsor was for the match, I thought they were going to come out with the gin and juices.
And the cup. Well, you don't know what he had in that cup.
Well, he didn't have a cup.
No,
Nah, he didn't have a cup. Yeah.
No,
oh, damn it.
They should have brought the cans out. It would have been like, okay.
So they finally got the win.
They deserve the win. Scarlett looked fucking gorgeous. Like she looked hot as
she's a smoke show.
Falling
prey. But
so as long as Paul Lawler's been around, this is his first WrestleMania. I thought that was kind of weird.
Shocking.
L.A. Knight.
Love how he drove up in the Slim Jim car only to give it away.
Yeah. And AJ's new twist on his music.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
It was all right.
I'm okay with that too, but does it go back to the other when he becomes a baby again?
I don't know. I'd rather him have the damn one he had in TNA.
Oh yeah, I am.
Get ready to rock. Yeah, I am.
Oh, get ready to fly.
Dude, I am. That's my favorite AJ.
Never gonna have him have that music. If he goes into AEW, that's the music he'll have there.
Right.
I love that. That's my favorite AJ music. So what you think of the match? It was what it was. I mean,
I'm not gonna say it was the worst match of the night, but
I think too, because
it was probably the worst match of the night.
I think too because they haven't given LA Knight any titles, so they give him the win at his first WrestleMania as kind of a consolation booby prize.
All right,
it seems like that.
Time now for us to sit there and talk about the advertisements on the rings. And
what the fuck was that about? Why did they have so many fucking advertisements?
I don't know, but
it was like Prime, and
they had one sponsor, and that was the whole night. So is it because now they've just TKO and they've got all these different things they're trying to do?
So I think Triple H mentioned it twice this week, and once during the press conference where he said, Nick Khan and I have done everything we can to look at how to get the biggest gate possible, but still make it affordable to anybody that wants to take the kids to the show. And I think when you look at that, they put as much advertising with different advertisers. Now, first of all, they got kind of racist with the Spanish Minute Maid during the Rey Mysterio match. Okay, Spanish Minute Maid.
They fucking had gin and juice with the Street Profits. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, to your point, they at least brought Snoop Dogg out for that one, and Snoop Dogg sat there. He's like, "Oh, that's not even a family reunion table. That's." And I'm sitting there going, "Would you just shut the fuck up?
You broke Grandma's table." I thought it was hilarious.
For the first couple minutes, I was okay with it, but then it was like, "Oh, they doing that? Oh, they doing that?" It just kept me in the same line. Oh, they doing that?
He was mixing it up.
But
I love watching when he does the animal thing. That's what it reminded me.
But hey, Tino, I've already told you when we went through the pandemic, I already said to you, and you hated when I said it, that Vince McMahon, when he was in charge, sat there and put all the Latinos against other Latinos. He put all the blacks against the blacks. He didn't put certain people against other people. And when you're talking about the advertising going on, now, first of all, I think the gin and juice one with the Street Profits made sense because they used to carry the red cups. It would make sense if they actually had a can, poured it into a red cup, took a drink, and then went down to the ring.
Okay.
That would have been smart. They didn't do that. Probably because
I didn't see the Spanish lemonade. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Well, Spanish orange juice, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes. It was mildly racist with the advertising. Now the dude wipes for the Usos. I was a little pissed off.
I think Dude Wipes came back again. Was it the main event?
No. So on the ring post, because the second night they didn't have as many of the advertisements, but on
Dude Wipes was on the second night too.
But it was on the ring posts.
But I think what match was? I think it was a damn main event.
Oh, the American Home Shield was the main event.
Oh.
But on the sides of the ring posts that used to say WrestleMania, and they would have like the cool graphic and everything. They turned those to Dude Wipes.
Well, they gave
Right.
the Slim Jims to the LA Knight match, which made sense. So
yeah, of course.
Right.
I was kind of disappointed in the LA Knight match because remember I talked about this. The whole point of that match came about is because AJ attacked him with a chair. I thought after the match he beat him, he was going to get his comeuppance and go out there and beat his ass with a chair, and he didn't do it. I think they missed that.
I can agree.
BFT hit him with the blunt force trauma. It was better than a chair.
All right, the match
Knocked him into a dude wipe.
that I did not think this person would win, and he fucking pulled it off. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton.
Gotta love the ride that KO gave Randy Orton on the carpet down to the ring.
And he almost killed him because Randy's like,
It's like, whoa, slow down.
He off down that ramp. That was hilarious. He made it out of the ring. Randy's music hit. He looks and he backs the golf cart all the way back up the ramp.
And he's like, "Come on, hop on!"
And Randy's like,
Yeah.
Well, he's like,
hitch a ride.
"You're my opponent," and he's like, "Come on, man, come on, we're friends." And he hops on and he grabs onto that little. Yeah. No, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen at WrestleMania.
No. That was for the second one. They were in the match and they were teaming up on Logan, and fucking Kevin turned his back, and Randy's buddy, he turned around and goes,
It's like, are we doing this?
We doing this? And then they started.
Well, that was right after they both thought they were going to do it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens like, "Well, how about we keep hitting him more?" And he's like, "Okay, we can do that."
And he turned his back.
And see, that was the problem with the match. Like, if it had been a singles match between either of those guys and Logan, I think either of them would have beaten him. Yeah. The thing I didn't like about this was the like, what the fuck are you? And why are you trying to act like a dog?
Oh yeah, I show speed.
When Randy barked back at him.
When Randy kicked him in the stomach and he just shoved back and slid.
Randy kicked his soul out.
Yeah.
It was like the Spider-Man movie when Spider-Man got pushed out of, like his soul got pushed out by Doctor Strange.
He kicked the shit out of him. I think he really pissed Randy off because Randy kicked the shit out of him.
Randy was like, "I don't have a problem with you," and then he's like, and he's like, "Well, fuck you too then."
He put him on the table. He wrote RKO.
That dude,
oh man,
they literally had to push him off the table to put the table back together. I'm not surprised by Logan Paul actually winning this match.
That same. I was amazed.
Dude,
Logan Paul can hit a fog splash.
Dude, he's impressive. When he did the senton into the other move, I was like, okay, that kid has something special.
But I think they practiced this.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I do think he loses it at SummerSlam though.
I hope he loses before SummerSlam. I hope he loses in like France or one of the other places they're going.
Bailey and Io.
Jason, you're the Joshi. Go ahead.
Great match. And you know what? I really appreciated not only both entrances, but just they let the ladies go at it, no interference. They did their thing, and I really loved. I have to just point out the rose plant spot flip from Io, one of my favorite spots.
It was awesome.
But overall, great match. Bailey got her moment, and you know what? It took so many tries, and I know it's been hard for her, barring the past injuries, but she got her big moment, and I'm happy for her.
Although I think she's relinquishing it on Friday. But go ahead.
Why?
Dude, she blew out her ACL.
Did she really?
I'm sure she did.
I was gonna say it's the same thing that we were talking about Roxanne before. You know, it took her so long because they even said she hadn't held that title in 3 years. It took her so long to get back to it. So yeah, I think she deserved it.
Yeah,
I also
2021.
want I want to point out.
God, that's 3 years.
I want to point out 2 things, and it happens at the end of because the next match is the.
I want to point out something.
It's the Roman and the Cody match, but I want to point out after both matches what made it special because she did it in this one and she did it after Cody. Samantha, when she announced Cody and Bailey, you could hear it. She's crying. She's trying not to cry, and I think that's just so. And I think she's like JR. She's like she doesn't want to know. She doesn't know who's going to win or lose. So she's so wrapped up in it, and for her and to hear that in an announcer's voice, I just think it's cool.
Michael Buffer.
Yeah, you said
the greatest announcer of all time, and I don't care what you say, he is the greatest announcer of all time. Let's get ready to rumble, guy. He sat there and sent out a tweet about Samantha Irvine's way of announcing Cody, and he was like, she's amazing.
Yes,
and I mean it was like 2 tweets worth of tweeting. That he posted, and he didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's been doing it 50 years. He doesn't have to sit there and say anything about what this young lady's been doing for 4 years.
And that's cool that he pointed out because yes, not only that, but even bringing people down to the ring when she's announcing them coming down, like the whole fucking Chelsea Green thing is just phenomenal in itself. But she does that with every person. She puts that emotion and that. And you know what I mean?
Well, remember day one, which was January 1st, when the Rock's music hit, and all of a sudden she jumped out of her seat because she had no idea that it was happening. What I want to point out, Jason mentioned the entrances of these two. I have said for a long time that Io Sky, when she walks down to the ring, looks like she's fucking hammered.
Yes.
And she literally looked like she was stomping out mushrooms or some shit. I don't know what the fuck she was doing.
She comes with that fucking monkey
It's the crazy.
And then the jacket's coming on.
It's not even crazy, man. It's like she literally has no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Like you might like it. I'm sitting there going, this is the most atrocious entrance for a champion ever. I was not sold by it. I haven't been sold by it. I felt like it's about damn time she loses because I'm tired of looking at that entrance and it's time for her to do something new.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad you're frozen. Main event.
Wow.
Hey, I had to go on a rant at some point.
Nah, it's all good.
Let's do it.
You know what the main event is? Fucking do it. Roman Reigns and Cody.
Oh, I thought you were pulling it up.
No, it's right there.
Oh.
I was looking at something else. This long ass match.
Super overbooked, but I get it. But I get it.
Super overbooked, but I'm gonna tell you, of all the so first of all, let's go through the match. You went through like 30 minutes of Roman versus Cody, just Roman versus Cody with Paul Heyman. Okay, great. Just as you thought one of them was going to get a pin, that's when Jimmy Uso comes up. Jimmy Uso kicks Cody in the face. Okay, cool. Jey Uso comes out. Jey Uso literally has a better match tonight than he did the night before by sending him and his brother through 2 tables off the ramp. Then, just as you think that Roman's going to win the match, you have Solo Sikoa come out there and go, would you get this shit over with? Just get him done. Just do it. He sits there. He does his thing. Apple juice. Well, hold on. We missed somebody in this, didn't we? Seth Rollins.
No, I think Seth came in.
I think Seth came in.
No. It was Cena. Because Cena came in, and then that's when The Rock came down. When Cena came in, because that brought The Rock out.
Well, so Seth was before all this.
No. Because The Rock, he was going to hit The Rock with the chair, and then Roman saved The Rock from getting hit. And
you're right.
So,
Shield echoed.
Yeah. So Cena came out to get Solo. The Rock came out. Cena got back in the ring, took his hat off, did all this over his ball spot. and got rock bottom.
No.
Yes.
No. It was Seth came out after the Usos.
No, I'm telling you.
Well, hold on. Seth came out after the Usos. No, you're right.
Yep,
you're right.
Both Usos showed up and ended up
You're right.
crashing their
You're
table.
right. Because Solo definitely was down there by then.
Because
that's what brought Cena out.
Because he had to get because Solo took Cena out.
Yeah.
So Cena came to get him. He took him out. The Rock came out.
You're right.
They got face to face.
I said you're right.
And so he bottomed him, and then you get the Shield, and everybody's losing their mind. I'm like, Ambrose didn't hear. It was just going to be Rollins, who was still fucking selling a knee.
Except I want to point out that Rollins, after he lost his match earlier in the night, got his hair done because it was blonde. He literally got blonde hair and put on the Shield outfit. And people online are like, why would this guy be dressed up as the Shield? And here's why.
Because they had to pay off that.
No, because it fucked with Roman's head.
Right.
Because Roman sat there when he had seen Seth coming in, and he speared him, and he did all that, and he saw Seth. The chair was on the ground, and he has his back to him, and he's at the ropes, just like when the Shield disbanded.
That's what I'm saying. It was that payback, that plan B.
But you're right. But the point is that's why he was wearing the gear and everything, was to get in his head, because that was meant to sit there and take his mind off of Cody, because this was before The Rock came down. Because The Rock came down.
No. Cena brought The Rock out.
Did Seth come down last?
No. Look.
Okay, I got to read this.
Uso showed up, right?
I wasn't even drinking last night.
Solo showed up, almost cost Cody, but John Cena came down and fought Solo off before hitting the attitude adjustment. The Rock walked down, so Cena brought The Rock out.
Right.
Rock, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, and The Rock turned around for Seth's music.
Yes, that's
for Undertaker.
Because he was trying to figure out where it was coming from.
Seth tried to get in the ring, Roman speared him. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
But that's what made Gong.
That's what it was, yeah.
And The Rock, like the lights went out, the lights came back on, and The Rock's just staring at the entranceway. And The Rock's like, and then he turns around, and you just see a very angry Undertaker for no reason at all. Like, if it had been,
maybe because he's abusing his power.
If it had, well, obviously, but we'll never get the payoff to that story. If it had been glass shatter, the lights go out, lights come back on, and Steve Austin's waiting there, we kind of expect stunner.
They wouldn't turn the lights off for Austin. They want you to see him doing that BMF off down the ramp.
That is true.
Yeah, so no, it wouldn't have been the same.
Although I don't know, he was the guy that did it's not Memorex.
But anyway,
so
Rock gets chokeslam.
He gets chokeslam, but what was also weird was Gong, lights go out, lights come back on, both are gone.
No, the Rock rolled to the floor.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because he slammed the shit out of him. He's laying like this.
Because I was literally like,
no, because they actually, the camera kind of went, you can see the Rock on the floor, but they left that belt there. And that's when Roman got up.
And he's looking, he's got the chair, he's got the belt.
And so he looks and he sees Seth. He smacks the shit out of Seth.
I remember that.
He waits for Cody to get up. Again, he tries to spear, and Cody kicks him again. Because remember, Cody had been trying to hit that trifecta of the Crossroads.
Well, he hit the trifecta.
No, he only hit it twice up until then.
Really?
If you notice, every time he went for the third one, something would happen. And so when he hit that third one that last time,
he still hit like 24 Crossroads.
He did. But Crossroads 1, 2, 3.
Like over the weekend, he hit like I mean he went the entire blue parkway or whatever it's called. Like he hit all the Crossroads.
So here's the thing. So he wins the match. His wife comes in, and he made it. I was like watching it, and then now it kind of makes sense when you were talking about the Paul Heyman speech. We were talking about they didn't mention Vince, and he said something about the new regime. Cody said, I want to bring Triple H out here because we're starting a new era. So
he said two of them.
He said Cody and Bruce Pritchard, but Bruce is still, to me, a Vince.
I love you.
He's still a Vince. And Triple H is starting this thing from scratch. So So I'm wondering if it's what they mean by a new era. Is it just because it's just no?
It's day one. It's day one.
Day one. New
This
season.
is literally 100. And after listening to The Rock on Saturday night sit there and do the post-match press conference, where they asked him, "How do you feel?" and he was like, "I feel good. Let's do this again." You know, it was like, "Oh shit!" Right?
You trying to play it off? You know you hurt.
Actually, he looked all right. I was impressed, but he then, someone was like, "Hey, Paul Heyman mentioned last night. They're saying this the Paul Levesque era. How do you feel about that?" And he goes, "Business is the best it's ever been. He's doing a great job. We're gonna keep letting him do what he's doing." And that is probably the best thing that he could have probably heard, because everybody was sitting there wondering, is Brian Goritz going to be in charge of this shit? Like, who's going to be in charge? Like, are they gonna remove everybody from anything that had to do with Vince McMahon, which would mean Pritchard, Paul Levesque, and obviously on Sunday night we saw Stephanie McMahon show up. She actually sat there and said it's the Paul Levesque era. We saw Shane McMahon at the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, like, the McMahons aren't not allowed to show up. I just think one McMahon isn't allowed to show up. Like, if Linda McMahon wanted to show up, I think they'd let her. Yeah. I don't think she wants to.
And not only that, if I remember correctly, the rest of Vince's shares, I believe TKO's trying to purchase or get the rest of.
So as of today, Vince McMahon is down to less than 1 million shares of stock, which that literally I was just part of the Bischoff and Conrad thing I was watching. They have subsidized, I think, another 1.8 million shares that he had. By the way, every time they do that, they just make him another $2 billion.
So make him richer.
They just make him richer. But as long as so common stock is one thing. He's got preferred shares. Preferred shares means that he has voting rights. And his preferred shares are the ones that, like, I don't know where those are because no one's really talking about it. But they are slowly moving him out. And I would think that tomorrow you're going to see the stock price take a nice little hike.
Really?
It'll go up. And the reason why is because of the business that they did over the weekend, right? For WrestleMania.
Okay.
So then he'll probably sit there and say, I want to sell more.
Okay.
So all in all, I think he is trying to sell more and more of it. The big things I want to point out coming out of WrestleMania, we have 2 new tag team champions. We have 2 new men's champions. 3 new men's champions, technically, because of Sami Zayn. Yeah. We have 1 of the 2 women's champions are new. It really does look like it's a reset on the business side itself. I think that's something important. I think that's something that really needs to be looked at. I also think that we may...
All the men's championships changed hands.
Not the United States.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think that what we might start seeing is shorter title reigns.
Well, yeah.
I think Rhea Ripley's title reign will go longer than whatever Bianca's was, and she'll become the longest reigning women's champion.
I think that takes it from her.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ideas. I wouldn't be surprised to see them hold off until the draft and see Tiffy.
Okay.
Okay. That should be coming up.
Next month.
When we get off here, I want to check it out because I don't know if you've been watching the Bo Dallas. He's got this thing on YouTube, and I think they're rebuilding kind of the Playhouse, but they're doing it under Uncle Howdy, and they keep saying when the moon meets the sun, so the eclipse. So I think they're going to start. And Alexa
it might
Bliss,
be tonight.
And Alexa Bliss is one of the characters they're talking about coming
might
back.
Be tonight. Well, especially if you watch the Bray Wyatt.
I did.
because if you watched all the way to the end,
Well, it was done for Howley, but they didn't have the other characters, so that's why I'm like, is he? And I know that they'll never ever be another Bray Wyatt or the Fiend, but I'm wondering if they're gonna do some kind of offshoot because he has so much more stuff. If you watched it, he had so much more stuff.
Yeah.
And his best friend who was doing all this stuff with the Fiend said, I would love to continue. So I think Bo or Taylor kind of takes over that you know what I'm saying? And maybe a twist.
It will be interesting. I also did like the little segment at the Hall of Fame where Rotunda actually and Wyndham did hold their phones up and they turned the lights out for that.
I like when like kids were like to doing the induction, they were kind of like talking about him and I think he gets inducted next year.
I do.
Nakano.
Yep. Bull Nakano, I thought was Jason.
She looked awesome.
Jason, yes, she did. She looked hot.
Yeah.
She's like
awesome.
60.
She looked awesome.
So she looked much better than Sumi Sakai.
She looked much better now than she did back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely better than Sumi Sakai too.
She wasn't wearing. She didn't have the sketchers on. She was actually wearing real shoes.
Oh,
because she's not that old, so she doesn't need the slip-ons.
Right. But anyways, gentlemen,
we love messing with Jason.
Yeah, we do that every time we get a chance to. Chris Barrett said I'm still waiting for Sid to get inducted. Actually, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah,
it's probably not that far off from happening now.
I have half the brain that you do.
Yeah, and half the one leg. Yeah. Anyways, overall, the score that you give WrestleMania two nights.
I give it a solid B, A-, solid B at least.
So
there were some matches that weren't.
I like the A- only because of night 2.
Yes,
like night 1, I was sitting there like B-, and then all of a sudden night 2. Now, granted, both main events I think did make the show worth watching. Yes. And Sammy versus Gunter on night 1. Becky versus Rhea on night 1.
Not no one of them.
Yeah, exactly. The tag team, but the Usos really let me down. The 6-woman match let me down. Yeah. On night 2, the street fight let me down. You know, like so there were letdowns in all of it, but I would say an A- for the entire show, especially because of like I felt like the fan service in the main event really like gave us exactly what it gave us. It gave us the epitome of 4 decades. Yeah. And it was WrestleMania 40, so I thought that's what it meant to do, right? Like you got Dusty Rhodes in it. You got the Attitude Era. You got the Ruthless Aggression Era. You got the Roman Era. So you got 4 different eras of wrestling in one match. And I don't care how it happened, but they made it work.
What's your grade, Jay?
Oh man, combined C+.
Oh damn!
Get off our show.
Damn, really? C+?
You didn't like it?
Honestly, let's just say I'm glad that I didn't pay to attend it live. I would have been overall pretty disappointed.
That's not what Shavar said. Shavar sat there and was sending me messages. Holy shit! Yeah. Okay. So.
All right. So that's.
So with that said, Jason, why don't you tell everybody where they can see you?
You can find me on Twitter at blitzball_champ, capital B, capital C. You can also find me on YouTube, blitzball champ, capital B, capital C. And also on Facebook, blitzball champ gaming, spaces between each, capital B, capital C, capital G.
We'll be seeing Jason this weekend. Saturday, we're going to the DPW show.
Oh, shit.
Sunday.
Yep, this Sunday evening.
What do you mean, no shit?
I'll be there.
You better. Shoot, I bought the tickets.
I'll be there.
What time is that?
So because we're VIP, doors open
you're
for
VIP.
us. No, y'all are as well.
Oh,
y'all are just second row. VIP is an add-on, so we get in at 6 for us. 7.
All right, so we get in at 6. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. And it's at the
Armory. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
it's at the convention center.
The Armory. It's at the convention center across the street from the Armory.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
All right. So all our stuff's on the.
Yeah, all of our stuff is at the end. We do want to thank Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song.
99.
How much?
99.
How much?
99.
One more time. Candy girl, rock my world.
So sweet. You must be so sweet. Every night. 99.
And with that, folks, we are out of here.